All right, let's get right into it. This is your essential clinical update for the upcoming 2025-2026 influenza season, designed to give you, as a frontline pharmacy professional, everything you need to know to protect your patients.
Okay, so here's a quick roadmap of what we're going to cover. We'll move through these key areas pretty quickly, really focusing on the critical updates you need for the upcoming season.
So first things first, why do we have this conversation every single year? Well, the simple reason is that the burden of influenza is huge, and it's something we can actually do something about.
Now this slide really tells a story. For adults aged 18 to 64 who have chronic medical conditions, our national goal for vaccination is 80%. But look at where we actually landed last season, just 47%. That gap, that's our opportunity. That's where you can make a massive difference.
And make no mistake, the stakes are incredibly high. This isn't just a bad cold we're talking about. Influenza and its complications, especially pneumonia, are consistently a top 10 cause of death in Canada. It's a serious illness, and I think the public often underestimates it, which is why our role in educating them is so vital.
This quote just puts it all into perspective, doesn't it? It's a powerful, global reminder of the life-saving impact of what we do every single day in our communities.
Okay, so let's talk about you. Let's focus on your incredibly unique and powerful position in this whole effort. You're not just giving shots, you are a trusted advocate, an educator, and a vital part of public health.
57%. This number really says it all. You are the #1 point of access for flu shots in the country. More than half of all doses are given in a pharmacy. Patients see you, they trust you, and your accessibility is a massive, massive advantage.
So here's the bottom line, the most crucial point. Your direct, personal recommendation is the single most powerful tool we have, period. When you look a patient in the eye and say, I really recommend you get your flu shot today, that carries enormous weight. It can literally be the one thing that gets them protected. To answer patient questions with total confidence, let's do a quick science review. Because you're going to get this question 100 times. Why do I need another one? I just got one last year. Well, the answer is all about how the virus changes.
And the main reason, as you know, is this process called antigen drift. The virus is a bit sloppy. As it copies itself, it makes tiny little changes. The game of telephone analogy is perfect. Over a year, all those little changes add up, and our immune system just doesn't recognize it as well as it did last season.
Then you have antigenic shift. Now this is the big one. Much, much rarer, thankfully, but also way more dangerous. This isn't a small drift. It's a massive, abrupt change that creates a whole new virus. This is the kind of thing that has the potential to cause a pandemic.
And this table is a super handy cheat sheet for the different ways we make these vaccines. It's great for answering those specific patient questions. Oh, and on that note, a really important point on allergies. The latest guidance is clear. Even a patient with a severe egg allergy can safely get any of the influenza vaccines available in Canada.
Okay, so now that we've got the basics covered, let's zoom in. While pretty much everyone over 6 months old should get the shot, some people need your targeted advice more than anyone. For your pregnant patients, framing this as a 2-for-1 benefit is just so effective. You're not just protecting them and lowering their own risk of being hospitalized by about 40%, you're also passing on those protective antibodies to the baby. That protects the newborn for those first critical months of life. It's a huge win-win.
When you're counseling parents, the message is kinda twofold, right? First, it's about protecting the child themselves, especially if they're under 5 or have something like asthma. But second, it's about protecting the whole family. Vaccinating healthy kids helps build this protective bubble around a new baby or grandma and grandpa. Now, for our older adults, we need to talk about a really key concept, immunosenescence. It's a fancy word, but the idea is simple. As we get older, our immune system naturally starts to weaken. This means older adults are not only more likely to get seriously ill from the flu, but their bodies also don't mount as strong a defense from a standard vaccine. And this idea is the whole reason for the new recommendations.
And that brings us to probably the biggest clinical update for this season. So let's really break down the new guidance from the National Advisory Committee on Immunization, NACI, for anyone 65 and over.
Okay, the guidance is crystal clear. For this age group, an enhanced vaccine, so high dose, adjuvanted, or recombinant, should be offered over a standard dose vaccine. But, and this is the crucial part for your day-to-day practice, if you don't have an enhanced one available, you use whatever age-appropriate vaccine you have. Any protection is 1,000 times better than no protection. In Canada, you're basically going to be working with these two primary enhanced options. You can think of it like this. Fluzone High Dose uses brute force. It's got 4 times the antigen to really get the immune system's attention. Fluad is a little more strategic. It uses an adjuvant, which is like an alarm that wakes the immune system up and tells it to build a stronger, longer-lasting response.
All right, theory's great. Let's put it into practice. Picture this. It's a crazy busy afternoon in your pharmacy in October, and a family comes up to the counter for their flu shots.
First up, the mother. She's 40, 36 weeks pregnant. What's the call? The clear answer here is D, a standard inactivated vaccine. It's safe in any trimester, and since it's not a live vaccine, it is the correct and safe choice to protect both her and her baby.
Next, her 4-year-old son. He's got severe asthma and a pretty serious needle phobia. Now, the nasal spray might seem like the easy answer for the phobia, right? But nope, his severe asthma is a big contraindication for a live vaccine. So the best practice here is C, use a framework to manage his fear and then give him the inactivated shot.
And finally, the 66-year-old grandmother. You're out of the enhanced vaccine, but you know your next shipment arrives in a week. This is where your counseling skills really shine. The best option is the enhanced vaccine, so if she can promise to come back, that's ideal. But if there's any chance she won't make it back, a standard dose today is infinitely better than taking a chance. So D is the answer. It's a shared decision you make with her.
You see how that one conversation can ripple out to protect an entire family? You have the trust, you have the access, and now you've got the latest clinical knowledge to make a huge impact. Thank you for everything you do to protect your community this season and every season.